Welcome to a ruined chapel by moonlight. I'm your host, Bertold Gambro. Today I'm reviewing The Devil and the Wolf by Richard L. Pastore. How to describe The Devil and the Wolf? I could tell you that it deals with questions like whether humans are innately good or evil, what it means to have a soul, and that it deconstructs and reimagines many classic aspects of mythology and religion. But that makes it sound like pretty heavy stuff, like Paradise Lost or something, one of those great works of classic literature that hardly anybody reads because it's so intimidatingly hard to understand. The Devil and the Wolf isn't like that. It's a light-hearted romp, a divine comedy, one might say. Heaven and its angels and hell and its demons have large roles to play in the story. Besides Mephistopheles, the title devil, Belial, Beelzebub, Lucifer, Lilith, and other classic hellish figures appear in the story, as do angels like Gabriel, Raphael, and so on. There are humans in the story as well, including a team of aspiring young paranormal researchers, and a truly unpleasant couple, one half of which is the resentful employee of Mephistopheles, though despite her hatred for her boss, she doesn't realize he's actually an ancient prince of hell. And then there is the other title character, J.R. Wolf, a wolf transformed into a human by the powerful magic of the devil, as part of his plan to put an end to a millennia-old test devised by the forces of heaven and hell to evaluate human souls. This test is part of a larger cosmology that Pastore has constructed, and which I absolutely loved. It reminds me of the religions and spiritual hierarchies and planes of existence as imagined in RPGs. Yes, even including the legendary Planescape Torment. How does Pastore manage to make a plot work with such a disparate blend of characters? Marvelously. I would never have imagined it could be done, and yet he has done it, in a manner that was incredibly organic and natural. So smooth, in fact, that I didn't even see the gears of the plot moving towards the climax until it had almost arrived. The characters are an absolute delight, from the hilarious banter between JR and Mephistopheles, to the political machinations of Hell's denizens, to the stuffy formality of the angels. Dialogues are full of clever insults and comebacks, and JR's unrelenting destructiveness is unfailingly hilarious. But beyond that, there is some real meat to this story. Questions of morality, humanity, and mortality are all in play here, but in a way that's entertaining and fun to read. That's why I wouldn't describe it as a philosophical novel, even though it undoubtedly is. It would give you the wrong idea. In telling someone about this book, I called it The Master and Margarita Meets a Confederacy of Dunces. The parallels aren't exact, but that's the best I can do. If you're not familiar with those titles, know that both are A, extremely weird, and B, widely considered to be some of the greatest literary works of the 20th century. It's not a coincidence that great things are also a bit strange. We don't normally think of strange or weird as compliments. But then again, it's hard to imagine praising something by saying it's so normal, either. The Devil and the Wolf is such a strange, outlandish comic fantasy, and yet every character feels so real. They all have discernible goals, motivations, and beliefs, which makes the whole world Pastore created seem immediate and alive. There might be an occasional line which falls flat, but as a whole it all works together delightfully well. My only complaint, and it's a minor one, is that I would have liked to learn a bit more about the young paranormal investigators. They are very promising characters. The usual caveat about typos that comes with most indie books, including my own, applies here, although given its length I was impressed by just how few there were. How to describe The Devil and the Wolf? I still don't know. This review doesn't do it justice. All I know is, it's weird, thought-provoking, and a hell and heaven of a lot of fun.